Good evening to each and every one. This is the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the blueprint. And today's topic is vaccinate to operate. Yes, so take a few moments just to share the live with others, and we will begin with a very interesting video, and we will get into why it is we are vaccinating to operate. If there's one thing that didn't tell me, there is sunrise after each cloud. I say, even though the road is long, no matter what come, I know I'm gonna make it. Oh Lord, I'm gonna make it.
Well, in case you're keeping track, it has been 14 days since hundreds of thousands of people first started packing Lollapalooza.
And at this point, it does not appear that the popular festival was a COVID-19 super spreader event. WGN's Rob Sneed is live in Grant Park with details on the numbers just out. Rob?
Yeah, good afternoon to you both. Health officials say that they did expect to see some cases with the number of people that actually attended that event. We're talking about 350,000 people attended, but only less than 250 people actually tested positive. Chicago health officials on Thursday reported 203 cases of COVID-19 connected to Lollapalooza, none of them yet linked to any hospitalizations or deaths. Officials say they anticipated this, and it suggests large gatherings won't be an issue moving forward.
So we continue to absolutely recommend that all festival and large event organizers require all attendees to be fully vaccinated against COVID or have a negative COVID test. We also are continuing to obviously recommend wearing the mask indoors right now, regardless of vaccination status, not forever, but while we get through this Delta surge.
The four-day music festival started 2 weeks ago. It drew about 385,000 people to Grant Park. Critics questioned holding the event during the pandemic, but officials felt it was safe enough to do so.
While people can carry the virus if they're vaccinated, if we have a group of vaccinated individuals, while they may carry it, they will not get infected with the virus.
Dr. Kathleen Mullane is the co-chair of the Chicago Medical Society's COVID task force. She helped come up with the rules to keep folks safe at Lollapalooza.
We sat down and looked at, first of all, what was the incidence of COVID in patients who were, or subjects, people who were vaccinated. And certainly back in February, when we were looking at this, the incidence of people who were getting COVID from after a vaccination was much lower than it is with Delta. And we actually made our recommendations initially based on that.
Of the 203 COVID cases tracked to the event, 58 are Chicago residents, 7 are from out of state. Of those vaccinated, 4 out of 10,000 tested positive for COVID. Of those unvaccinated, 16 out of 10,000 tested positive. And of the 385,000 people, 90% of those were vaccinated. As it stands right now in the city as a whole, today there are 369 confirmed COVID cases. While Dr. Arwady is saying Lollapalooza was not a super spreader event, Dr. Mullane isn't quick to agree.
Going forward, can we guarantee that no, this event was contained and we didn't have a super spreader event? I don't think we can say that yet. Time will tell, but it certainly looks good that the precautions that were taken in people being involved in the festival, that it worked.
And health officials also say on average 11,000 people in the city take COVID tests per day. Reporting live at Grant Park, Rob Sneed, WGN News.
Yes, people. So good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are. We want to welcome each and everyone to the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the blueprint. And we just started off with that video because we are speaking about vaccinate to operate this evening. So, Mike, tell us a joke, and then Verena will tell us what she thinks about the video.
Somebody just sent me something that tying it what we're going to discuss this evening. So, my boy sent me, he said he went to a party, and when he went to the party, the DJ said the bar is open. People, the bar is open. Drinks is served. They say the party done one time. Yes, it finished.
Has he finished when they say drink serve?
Yeah, he said only vaccinated people.
Oh, only the vaccinated.
Yeah, for the
Oh,
bar.
Mike Bailey. Yeah,
And that was
you
it.
didn't say that part.
Well, I wanted to add that
You know?
after.
Now you have to say that as I was confused.
So the DJ said only vaccinated people. The bar is open. Drink serve. Party shut down.
Right,
Party shut down. Yeah,
right.
so take that
So
easy.
None.
Yeah, party done.
yes, so we see that there was a festival, Lollapalooza,
Yeah, so
and persons needed to be either vaccinated, show proof of being vaccinated, or they had to enter with a negative COVID-19 test. Right there, results should be negative if it is their passing the gates, because we had discussions on Real Talk, etc., about being vaccinated and about the vaccination passport, right? And that was a major event. You see the amount of people there, a lot of people. It wasn't even like carnival down here. It's rare people, right?
Plenty more.
So yeah, rare people. You can't even start to count. So Verena, what are your views on the video and as it relates to being able to vaccinate to operate?
To operate. Well, at first I was, vaccination is your choice, and it still is your choice, right? But now you see a little more restrictions, so things that you could do and without being vaccinated, right? For instance, getting a job, just now it might be entering the supermarket. You're not sure where it's going, right?
Yeah.
But for most people, their bread and butter getting a job is being affected without taking a vaccine,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And well, through research too, I realized that the vaccine is not like the other vaccines that we have taken before. So it's trying to compare them to say it should take this length of time or that length of time. It's two different type of technologies. So that is why we're able to use it now in this case. And well, it seems like in the party I could see carnival come in if we vaccinate to operate. I went to the carnival.
nobody
Honestly,
shutting
I
down
hate
no
them
carnival.
Candice.
Yeah.
We have Candice on the inside. Candice from Tobago.
I
Right?
Candice.
She's on the inside. And
But
I
you know-
with
have
positive results.
But
yeah,
you know
with positive
something.
results from this.
But you know something, Chica.
Carnival and Fest
the
could come back.
Today the EPL open. That is the English Premier League. And if you see people, so you could imagine, because I was trying to follow up a report to find out if they say they had to show a negative test to get in. Nothing like that was mentioned.
okay.
So they packed the stadium, football, all the games. But the majority, 60 to 75% was packed. And that's plenty people. So I didn't hear them follow up. So I must follow it up and see.
Right.
Yeah.
So, when we spoke about vaccinate to operate, we would be hearing this a lot, right? Not only for persons who are working, but even for children who have to go to school, persons who want to socialize, people who want to go to the parties, the clubs, people who want carnival to return. Yeah, and the thing about it is we had a lot of hesitancy. People were very hesitant in taking the vaccine. And as Verena just mentioned, that, people are comparing this vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, to all the other vaccines that we know about, right? And the length of time it would have taken. So we want to make sure and provide you all with, information, right? And one of the things about this vaccine, it is called mRNA, which is a messenger vaccine. So it's not the real virus that they are putting into your bodies, right? It's not the real virus. They're just using the stem of the virus, which I will say is the crown, is not the real thing. And it's just to let your immune system recognize it, become familiar with it, so that if it is you become infected, it will know, okay, this is not this this does not belong here, to fight it off. So yes, people saying no, it's not protecting you from getting COVID, it's not stopping you from spreading the virus. While all of this is true, what it does is give you a higher chance, which is a 99% chance of not being hospitalized. It gives you the chance of fighting off. If it is you do become infected with COVID, you will not be seriously ill, where you need to be in ICU, where it is really under the weather, right? So just, we don't want to compare COVID-19 exactly with the common cold, but we know that basically every year, they were saying the virus are wrong. And here people saying that. That's what we were saying this in the Caribbean. Oh, the virus going wrong. And here people, oh, you have to make sure you drink up and make sure you
Take your vitamin
strong and
C
take
and
C and all these things you there because they say the virus going around, right? But with COVID-19, when it goes around, you have a high chance of being hospitalized. You have a high chance of being sick for a long period of time, and now it really making sure that you are quarantined. So yes, people take things lightly, they take it for granted, before this. If it is you're sick, don't come out to work, don't send the children to school before COVID. Now it is more serious. And that is why, the ministries of health is encouraging persons, the leaders are encouraging persons to become vaccinated in order to do the things that we would like to get back to get back to normal life, because it's not normal right now. And yes, they are saying that the new normal is viruses, wearing masks. We don't know how long again we have to wear the mask for, but they are trying to protect each and every person, even trying to protect itself, right? And more so our children. So we have toddlers, right? So I have a question to throw out to the parents out there. For those of you who have children that are between the ages of 12 and 18, right? How comfortable do you feel getting your child vaccinated, right? That's my question to you. And you can share. Remember, we want to be respectful. We are open to each and every person's view. Everyone has a reason why it is they may want to, the decision that they make, the choice that they make. Yes, so Verena, I know that if it is the Pfizer, so we know Pfizer would have been approved for children between the ages of 12 and 18. But let us say it was approved for persons that are, say, 5 and up. Would you feel comfortable? Would you have felt comfortable letting your children get the vaccine?
well, I have my qualms about allowing my daughter to get the vaccine. And yes, she did get the other vaccines in the health centers and so on, but it's just that she has her disability and whatever other medical situations, and some vaccines cause I think it's the Guillain-Barré syndrome, and I don't want her to be affected in that way, So that is the only thing, and I will consider like going to a doctor and getting all the information, ensuring that she is up to maximum health before taking a decision to give her a vaccine. But as for my sons, I would be open to allowing them to get the vaccine to go back out if it was that age.
And their age range, right?
Yeah.
So because it have persons who, it have persons who would have hoped that all children could have been vaccinated, right? Just like how they take the other vaccines, just to make sure that they are protected and give them the chance of having not to wear the mask. Because imagine children going out to school, they have to put on their mask. That is going to be really, really, really challenging for them to keep on that mask whole day, right? It is going to be challenging. They will find it very uncomfortable. to wear it wholly. Yes? So we don't
Yeah.
want to put them in that situation where it is they have to wear the mask. So we as the adults, right, have to take up the mantle, in other words, to protect those that are vulnerable. Because we know that some persons, they, due to, their situation, medical conditions, they may be advised not to take it, or they may be advised to take it at particular times. Good afternoon, Rihanna. Yes, we have Rihanna on the we have Rihanna on the inside, right? So, Rihanna, what are your views on? I do not know if you saw the video at the beginning with the festival. No, you didn't see it, right? Now, the number of persons that would have been there were in the millions, right? But out of those people, only 200 and something persons were infected with COVID-19 after the festival. So that's one of the reasons that they are encouraging persons to vaccinate. When it is you go out there to work, you will be coming in contact with more people, right? You're coming in contact with a lot of people. So we know that here in Trinidad and Tobago, from this Monday, the retail sector will be open. So there's going to be a lot of businesses open, a lot of persons going out there to get material to make their children's school uniform. We know that there are some persons going out there to get stationaries and everything for their children to go back out to school, right? But now, vaccinate to operate is affecting families, right? So, Rihanna, how do you think vaccinate to operate? What type of effect do you think it's having on families?
Pleasant afternoon. I think personally it's affecting people, especially people that who have kids. I think
I think we and them get a flat
Yes,
tire.
I think
Yeah.
she gets a little cut off there. So,
Yeah.
Verena, how do you think vaccinate to operate is actually affecting families? In
Well,
what
so
way?
there in a lot of ways, because we have some children who want to take the vaccine and their parents don't want them to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have a little dispute there in the family where the mom
Yes.
or the dad, one might say too, the dad might say, yes, let her take the vaccine or let him take the vaccine. And the mother might say, no, you're mad, that vaccine will damage the child. So you have that discussion in the house and people have
Yes.
opposing views, or some might
Mm-hmm.
even have the same view and go ahead with the vaccine. So, of course, it's a conversation in the family. There may be some disputes depending on the opinions of the persons, but
Yes,
yeah, it's
definitely.
a hot topic right now.
Yes, definitely. So that's one thing. And make what I will say is one, as you said, dispute. We'll do double D, dispute and divide. So right now we have in some families there may be some who is for vaccine and some who is against being vaccinated, right? So that will cause a divide. It will cause, as Verena said, disputes. So they may be angry. There may be a lot of bickering, a lot of quarreling, yes, about the vaccine, especially when it comes to the children now, whether one parent say yes, and then there could be a discord between the parent and the child, where the child may want to be vaccinated and the parent does not want the child to be vaccinated. And then we have the case where the child may not want to be vaccinated and the parents say, yes, they have to get vaccinated. Right? Now, when it is you're under the age of 18, you always have to get parental consent and all these things. Right? Now, in some countries, it have certain laws that allow children to make their own decisions after they do what may be considered as a mental test to see how cognitive they are, if they have good cognitive abilities where they can make sound decisions, right? So, but here in Trinidad and Tobago, we know that parents will say, you living under my roof, You have to do as I say. Yes, so it may even have parents who are comfortable with being vaccinated, but they may not be comfortable with their child being vaccinated.
Child, exactly.
Yes, so there's that, right? So they may say, okay, no problem, I'm an adult, I will go and get my vaccine, but at the same time, they are afraid they ain't too sure if it is their child should become vaccinated. So for the
Yeah, because
viewers, this is the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the blueprint, and we are speaking vaccinate to operate this evening. So drop in the comment section. Is this affecting your family? Do you want your child to be vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine? So who approved Pfizer for persons ages 12 to 18 years? How comfortable are you, and are you giving your child consent to be vaccinated? Yeah. So Verena, you're going to say
yeah, I was going to
something.
say that as I was watching a report, a video on, someone was saying that they're not aware of what the long-term effects would be for
Mm-hmm.
vaccinating children with the COVID-19 vaccine. They were
Right.
saying that um, things like having a family and it might affect your ability to do that, so they're not aware
Right.
of all the long-term effects, and that is what could probably hinder some people from wanting to
Now,
take the vaccine. So
people. So we will go to a break and we will come back and explain why the vaccine will not do anything to the person's reproductive system, right? So we will go to a short break and we'll be right back. So Mike, play
Yeah.
some music and we'll be back and
Yes.
continue the
So,
discussion.
so the rain is falling very hard, and if you get vaccinated, you might be able to make a lot of children because it's falling very hard. So you're listening to the effects of COVID-19 on the family. The blueprint. Serious talk this evening.
Yes,
Vaccinate to operate. You see, right now, I don't make children. I sorry. So we'll be right back.
we will be back.
Boutique TV is about merging
Boutique TV is where we bring the vibes. Yeah.
So we are back. We are back. We are back inside. It's making real cold. Lord.
Yes. So it is the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the blueprint, and we are speaking vaccinate to operate. Yes. So Verena just brought up some questions that people, ask about the vaccine. If it is their child get it, will they be able to have a family in the long run? They're talking about long-term effects of the vaccine. Persons, people, the vaccine does not do anything. It does not change anything in your DNA, right? It does not. It does not change anything when it comes to your reproductive system, right? Remember, this is a virus, right? Then if it is the virus, if it is the vaccine is doing it, remember that then the virus could do it too, right? So what it is that all the vaccine does is prepare your immune system to fight off the COVID-19, the coronavirus, if it does appear in your system, in your body. So it is just there so that the immune system know, hey, this is an invader. It does not belong here, and it will fight it off. Okay? So Candace is saying, I don't discuss negative things about the coronavirus because I don't want to put fear in them. I will allow them to take it after I take it. Right? So this is a parent. She has, children within that age bracket.
Full respect, Shamika, for her saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? So the thing about it is a lot of times, people, what they are doing is looking and listening on at the negative. So it can have 99% positive and 1% negative. And what people do is run with that 1%. They run with the 1% of the negative that is out there. And that 1%, most of the time, is not that the person, and something, people who are fearful, right? Now, this vaccinated operator have people in fear as well, eh? So people might say, nah, I ain't frightened. If you're thinking about the long-term effects, what is the reason, right? We take so many risks every day. When it is we eat, do we ask why it is they keep going back for KFC? Or why it is they keep going back for the doubles? Or why it is every time you have a headache, right? You're buying Panadol. Do you ask have you ever read the Panadol packet and see what the side effects are?
Yes,
no,
I have.
people
But a lot of people don't do it.
A lot of people don't do it. Mike, have you ever read the side effects of the Panadol? On the packet?
Nope, never.
No.
That's a good question.
Or if they ever check the side effects of consuming too much sodium or calories from a packet of snack.
Exactly. Have you ever read all the smokers, drinkers out there? Have you read the side effects? Right? It could be right in the face. They're showing you the lungs. I will always say, never forget what a smoker's lung look like. It is black, like my hair.
From the first time you see it, and I never forget that either.
And people will continue smoking. People would have really witnessed, they would have really known the persons would have died due to lung cancer, and yet still they will still smoke.
And COPD, they would have seen people with COPD and not take anything to it.
Yes, the side effects of rum, the alcohol, the punching and the drinking it straight. Yeah, I like my punching. And the drinking it straight. Yes. And we thinking about the vaccine that people are saying, it happens so fast. Listen, people. The vaccine, yes, a lot of times persons are saying, okay, this was developed too fast, it's behind the age of technology. And if it is you don't want to accept this technology, why are you using cell phones? Why are you using? Because you know that spending a lot of time on your cell phone, your devices, what are the side effects? Do people think about that? Do people go down and say, let me see the long-term side effects of being on my phone all the time and using the internet? Mike, have you thought about that? That headset on the ears, whole day. What are the side effects?
Yep. Well, it don't start affecting me. Yeah, realize sometimes I use the wireless.
Right? So
yeah, you have a point. You have a point because how many of us really and truly, when we get medication, you have a point that we really read what is written. It come like everything else. It come like when you're taking out the insurance policy, when you're signing up documents, all the fine line. How many of us read that?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
You only hear that, Rain?
Yes, it's heavy.
Yes.
Right? So what it is we are saying, sometimes the risk that we are taking the vaccine is not so much of a, let us say, a risk. Not taking it, you are taking a greater risk with your life. Because if it is you don't take the vaccine, here's what's going to happen. Your body don't know what this thing is. Right? And when you take the vaccine, It's just the messenger. It's not the real virus. So when the real virus does come, you know, oh, let me fight. This don't belong here. It come like a stranger enter in a yard and the dog say, nah, I don't know the scent. I don't know this person. And they attack them.
Yeah, that's
right? The vaccine is like a dog protecting a yard. Yes, so we have children asking about what about the pressure med.
Yeah.
People don't check the side effects of the pressure tablet. People don't check. And here's what, when people go on medication, sometimes it's birth control. We ain't doing on the birth control because some persons, if they ain't take the birth control, they're gonna make sure and that they cannot take.
No, I just mean like checking the side effects now.
Yes, yes. Some
checking the side effects and really.
Yes. No, but it's how. No, that is one thing though. When it is you go to a doctor and they want to go on birth control, they make sure and explain to you what are the long-term side effects and what are the short-term side effects of the birth control, whether it's the injection or the pill.
When you
so we have
take the vaccine
on the inside.
Yeah.
I
Jezan have a daughter.
Reaction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you took a vaccine today? Hi, Jezan. Did you get your
I had an allergy reaction. I don't know what I ate.
Jezan,
oh, you ate
something.
something.
Yeah, TNTech lights.
Mommy. Yeah. Okay, so Jezan isn't so 100 right now. She
get well soon.
And had
get well soon.
An allergic reaction. Right? So I was saying that whether it's the injection or the pill, a lot of times with the birth control, the nurses and the doctors do let you know what are the short-term and long-term side effects of the birth control that you are taking. Right? Now, when it is you going for like medication in heart, whether it's kidney, liver, diabetes, whatever, they don't discuss the side effects of long-term use. People don't even ask the side effects. They was like, I had diabetes, so I just take the insulin or the metformin, and the doctor say take this and take it this amount of times during the day.
10 different tablets and 10 different things
right?
you have to take.
Exactly. And then when you have more than one complication, you'll have more than one medication to take. And they say, well, the doctor gave me this to take, and they take it. That is all they're saying. The doctor gave me this to take. Exactly.
But
right?
you know, but you know,
I have a real thing with reading like side effects and ingredients and calories, all those things. I just read it.
Yeah, just read. You like to read everything.
I like to read everything. So.
Right. So some persons don't like to read, so they will not read it. Some persons do care. Okay, let us say persons may have a mental breakdown and the psychiatrist or the counselor, the psychologist prescribe medication for them, like persons who may be given sleeping pills to help them sleep at night. They just say, well, I ain't in trouble to sleep, so I'm going to take this. Some persons may actually read what the side effects are. Mike, have some behavior. So, some persons do read it, and when they read it, they choose not to take it, right? And some persons when they take medication and they know how it is they feel. So, like those who on psych medication because they have a mental illness or a mental disorder, they know how they feel. So sometimes when they take the medication, it makes them sleepy. They are very drowsy, and they won't take it.
But do you not think that hold on? Yeah, because trying to kill the rain real falling. But do you not think also, even when you're taking things like, well, I normally like to take paracetamol, right? I've been taking that for years. But do you not think that people also have a mental block when taking medication? In the sense that, in the sense of?
Yeah,
in the sense of, probably it might have side effects, but you're still taking it. And
right, I was going to say that they get addicted.
Right,
what happens, some persons, they may not need to take the medication anymore. Let us say they really need to take this medication. The doctor prescribed. and they say only taking it for this period, you get over whatever it is you had. So let us say it might be, I will just use the sleeping pills as an example, right? You start, you're sleeping properly now, you overcome whatever it is, and you're able to sleep better without the medication. But then you become addicted to it. That happens. And you all know the thing that people sniff, I don't know what they call it, the Vicks and the thing to
Or
just
glue.
put up in the nose, right?
Oh yeah,
People
the
become,
inhalers.
yes, those inhalers. I can't remember the exact name. I don't know if they call it just inhaler, but that. People
Mark two,
become
the
addicted
Mark
to
two.
that as well, right? I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen anybody with it in a long time, but people do become addicted to that,
Yeah, but
right? Now
I
with the
saw
vaccine,
people like during the COVID. Well, all now is COVID, but in the beginning stages when they can't breathe and they just get a little cold or something, they have this thing stick up
mm-hmm,
in their nose all the time, whole day. They have two or three on
right?
them, and I was like, but why?
Yes,
And
why?
it is an addiction.
Yes, so now with the vaccine, there's no chance of becoming addicted to it, right? When some persons, they may have different reactions, their body, so as we know, is the immune system, it will be responding, right? The body is building the antibodies, right? You'll have no
I
behavior. So we
have
have some
no
viewers
behavior
here,
to them this
have no
evening.
behavior, right? Um,
But
so,
but but Shika, all right,
yes.
we talking about that. We talking about the vaccine, we talking about medication and stuff. When it comes to the elderly folks, what instructions you think should be given to them when it comes to the vaccine? Is it that the doctors or whoever is giving them the vaccine, we know we talk about the questions about what are the comorbidities that you have, what you're suffering with and stuff. But what about these elder people that you have to assure that what you're taking is safe?
Mike, let me tell you something. Based on the news report, is all the elderly, they are going for the vaccine. They don't have no high hesitancy in the elderly population. Those who are over the age of 60, they were the one going to get the vaccine. So it have no convincing them and reassuring them.
But
Mike,
why.
but the ones with
Why?
he asking about the
Wonder
ones with
why?
comorbidities, right?
Yeah.
listen, even
They
the ones with
they
the
will talk to
comorbidities,
their doctors. If
yes,
if
they
you
talk to
really
their
if you really
doctors.
have a thing, you speak with your doctor and the doctor will give a letter. Because I know someone who just have to get a letter from the doctor to state, okay, this is her case, this is what she has, and this is the
Mm-hmm.
recommended vaccine for her, seeing that X, Y, and Z is the case. Because I think it's Moderna, one of them causing blood clots, and we had different things going on. So, and it's from people taking it, then they realize too what are some side effects linking to different comorbidities, right?
Right?
So
So the
Mm-hmm.
elderly,
now
the elderly seems to be the one who are more, who have been adapting more to the vaccine than the
Yes,
generation under them.
the elderly, they are the ones who were standing in the rain, remember? And people were saying, why is it they have the elderly stand up on the rain going for the vaccine, right? No, they understand. Remember, we never really experienced anything like this before, right? So Children is asking, what about family issues when a wife does not want it, but the rest of the family is vaccinated? How do you deal with that? Well, listen, wifey or husband, whoever, in that case, if it is your family is vaccinated and you don't want, remember, you are still putting them at risk, right? Rihanna is saying some elderly come in the vaccination site with all their meds, right? So it have some of them, they know that they are on medication. They may have your children who may go with them and explain. Because on the form, they do ask if you have, they ask. There's a
hmm
section if it is you have any, comorbidities, if you have diabetes, if you're on any medication, if you have blood clots, because People get blood clots without the vaccine. So all you talk about the vaccine giving you a blood clot. Listen, people get blood clots without the vaccine.
Without that,
They
yeah.
already exactly, and that is where they must be a little bit more careful in terms of giving those persons the vaccine and what it is you have to do. Even persons who are on medication for their mental disorders, there are directions as to if it is, or persons who may receive the injection, they give them specific instructions as to how long after you get your injection or how long before should you be vaccinated, right? So that's why you go to your doctor. You have concerns, you know that you're on medication, you know that you have comorbidities, you go and seek medical advice. Go to your doctor and don't live in fear, right? You want to protect yourself. Now, there are persons who have cancer, different forms of cancer, and they may be in a better place where their immune system is actually ready, because with cancer, you have a lot of fighting to do, right? But some persons, they are at a better place where they are able to take the vaccine. Yeah?
Could only read that question.
So, Michael Ian Wansley Lewis is asking, do you think the government will mandate those in extramarital affairs, knowing they have to return to the family's home? So, Mr. Lewis is asking if the government will mandate. Right now, it looks like they will mandate it for everybody, whether you're outside, inside, peace or not. Take the vaccine to protect yourself, your family, and more so, your children with disabilities. So Candace is saying elderly people taking without a fuss. They even convinced me to take it. So you see, so Candace is a young woman, right? She's young, and the elderly are the ones who saying take it. I wouldn't say exactly who the person is, over 80. And when I say I take my first dose, it was like, you know get your first dose, right? That person is fully vaccinated already. Yes. So Chizan, I have a question for you. Your daughter is 16, right?
She'll be 16 this year.
Right. Will you be allowing her to take the vaccine?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
You see what has happened?
Shazan, what a it, girl?
No, it's all your nobody.
I don't know. I just had chicken and I don't know what it was. I don't know.
Is the dress you had on one night it was? You went on party. You don't want to tell us you overdrink. That's all simple. Just tell us what God.
Mike, it's not alcohol that gave me allergies. It only happened today.
So,
you
get to go for your vaccine, or the allergies kick in before?
The allergy kicked in before I can go for vaccine.
You couldn't go, oh gosh.
Yeah, it was booked for today as well. My first dose.
My own booked for Monday.
Is it? Okay. So I have to rebook it now.
So Jazan is skeptical about her daughter being vaccinated, right?
You see, all right, and that's it. So she is skeptical. She's thinking about going. So once you take the vaccine, that means you allow your daughter to take it.
I don't even know if I want to take it right now, to be honest. Like give it on a hold.
So Jazan was going to be vaccinated today to get her first dose.
I had an allergy reaction to something now. I'm scared of this vaccine now. What I'll be allergic to now. So I don't know. I'm confused.
That's the next thing, Chica.
Oh, well,
like her instance.
No,
her instance.
Allergic to. I need to find out what I'm allergic to.
All right, so Jazan, I have this question for you, right?
Yeah.
After you ate whatever time that was, how long after did the allergic reaction come on?
About 10 minutes.
Right. So, point. So, when it says you go to get your vaccine, you are placed in observation. So, this is I like how Jazan come on with her allergic reaction, even though it's an uncomfortable situation, right? Right, Jazan? I agree, right?
The last hour.
Right. So it come in a little handy for us tonight, right? Although
Yeah.
I'm very, very sorry that we're going through this. Right? When it
Well,
says we are vaccinated, we are placed in observation for 20 minutes. So if it
right.
is you are allergic to something in that vaccine, the
Uh-huh.
nurses, the doctors on site will reckon it, the allergic reaction will show up then. You won't have
Yeah.
to wait till they reach home and then a whole week after, then you are getting an allergy. It will
Yeah.
come on within that observation period. So
Yeah.
person and they will have they will know because persons did not really ask what is in the vaccine. Persons
Yeah.
are saying they have things in the vaccine, but they
Yeah.
didn't really ask what's in the vaccine. But if there's something there, they will know, okay, this is it. Just like some persons may be allergic to penicillin, they will
I'm
have
allergic to penicillin.
right.
And some
Listen,
persons
So
are allergic to egg.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I know people
exactly.
allergic to flour.
Shamika,
Yes, Mike.
you took the vaccine, right?
Yes, the first dose.
Right. Is that clip, that picture always showing us, that Mr. Sholem putting up, that is the size of the needle that you took?
Mike, listen, you can't
Watch
talk
that,
to
only
me
watch that
about
needle. I don't want me to go and take that.
it's a small needle, Mike.
It's a small
very,
needle, Mike.
it's
I
a
just
small
asking,
needle.
the way I
It's
see
a
You
it
ever
very
give
small
projected
needle.
down
you
to
ever
your
give
arm, you
blood,
think
Mike?
big. Yeah.
You ever give
I,
blood? Well,
I
that
always give
needle way
blood.
bigger.
Exactly. I
That
give blood and the
Oh,
needle way
needle is
bigger than the
bigger.
vaccination
Exactly.
needle.
Yeah, it's a smaller needle.
Yeah.
And I don't want, when I go in, I don't want no female nurse give me no injection. They're too rough. I want a male.
That's not true, Mike. You
I
did
want
not
a
Mike, that's
listen
not
to the
true.
Prime Minister's address today,
No, I listen to
That's not
nothing.
true.
Me or
right?
nothing.
He said he don't. You see the word jab. You need to stop using it. He does not like it. Right? Stop using the word
So what
jab.
we supposed to
He
use?
said
Prick it.
no. You
Well,
just say that you got an injection
An
okay.
or
injection.
you're
Okay.
getting vaccinated.
Okay.
Right? Because it's not like they're jabbing the needle in your hand. They took good care. They were very
Listen,
careful. They were
hey,
loving
nah. When I was growing
and
up
nurturing.
and I was taking all them chicken pox and thing, them nurses and them used to rough up my hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Some nurses are rough, eh? I wouldn't
Very
lie.
rough.
yeah,
Very
their
rough.
hands are, it have some,
Their
yeah,
hand
their
is
hands, some of
heavy.
the heavy,
Some people
yeah.
have a heavy
Some
hand.
have
Yeah.
heavy
Right?
handed, yeah.
I was very fortunate enough that the nurse who administered my first dose, her hand was not heavy, she was not rough. It was
She washing plenty ways. So she's hand
and
soft.
out,
Yeah, she washing plenty
right?
ways.
And it was smooth. And I am not afraid of needles. That is like whatever.
Well, I get
So
accustomed to needles now because I take enough needles. I get accustomed to needles now.
Right, so those who are joining us, we are talking about vaccinate to operate, right? And yes, back to Sherlan's question earlier about one person in the house not wanting to be vaccinated. Now, what I will say is, why is it that you don't want to be vaccinated while everyone else is vaccinated? Why is it you may be seeing a positive result and you choose to go down the path of all the negatives that you hear around? That will affect your relationship with your family members because then it will seem like you don't care about protecting them as well and even protecting yourself. And if you don't care about protecting yourself, how can you care about protecting someone else? Right?
Well,
Persons spoke
I have
about,
a different view.
you have a different
I
view,
just,
yes. What's your view?
yeah, okay, so for some people, it's fair. And even no matter how much information they could get about the positives and whatever, once they know that there is some negative effect, they will have that fear in them, right? That something is going to happen to them or something might happen to them, even though nothing happened to their family members. And I just think that family members need to have a bit of understanding and respect each other's decisions too. Yes, we understand that if you don't take the vaccine, you're at risk to others, right? But you still have to, some people, that fear factor, it is real and you have to give them a little chance to come out of it, you know? So as a family member, you could try to give them some advice and so on to help them eliminate the fears that they have.
Right. So now, so what I'm seeing is, right, persons are given, they are getting advice, they are getting the correct information. And COVID itself, that persons are very fearful, right? So now with the vaccines, you see misinformation can can cause people to be living in fear. And we don't want to be living in fear. We really don't want to be living in fear. Right? So
Well, it seems like a new thing, the fear factor.
Yeah, everything. Persons are everything is fear. Everything. Right? Except drinking the rum or smoking.
So
or
we,
crossing
at least
driving
we,
fast,
yeah,
speeding.
at least we are happy that we able to make Jizan smile. Lion and I. Yeah.
You know, I've seen all the comments, you know. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But all right. So we look at the
we
fear
need-
factor. We look at the fear factor, Chica. We talked about the older generation. We talk about the children who now going to be going out to school that probably they had to vaccinate. Now, the question here is, if we have 75, oh no, let me drop it. Let me say 49% of the parents give permission for the children to vaccinate. And the rest refuse to get the children to vaccinate. What would be their position with their education? What do you think? What can you say about that? Any suggestions?
So as I will go on the word of the Prime Minister and those and the leaders. What they are saying right now, it is vaccinated. Everyone may not choose to have their children vaccinated or their child vaccinated, right? It is at this point in time, it is a choice. And persons, they are now reverting. They are saying that they prefer to have their children homeschool rather than they take the vaccination. Now, while they are saying homeschool, how long do you think? And now this could affect the child psychologically, right? Because when they know about the face-to-face, they know about interacting, going out there and having that type of interaction, now that is being taken away from them, right? And when it is we want to talk about rights, human rights, children rights, all the rights, we are infringing upon the rights of our children, maybe even our family. Because sometimes persons, what happen, they just go, they are influenced by those who are around them, right? And so they may, in their head, they may want to take the vaccine, but because of those around them, who they surround themselves with, they may influence them not to take the vaccine, right? When they really do want to take it. So we have to be mindful that we can't be infringing upon the rights of, so like something like, yeah, they can play home and they have a brother and a sister. You're still infringing upon their rights to participate in the community and in other social activities.
But then again, is it just not boiled back down to choice of the parents?
Yes, it does boil back down to the choice of the parents. We are not saying no. Just like how some person may not choose to register their child when they are born. For whatever reason, sometimes persons make decisions based upon whatever they believe at that point in time is right, right? And it may seem right to them at that point, but it may not be the right choice at that point in time. Later down you realize, okay, I didn't make the right decision here. Now, I'm not telling any parents, yes, go and vaccinate the child, because then they say, well, but James say go and vaccinate, and now I am not.
I will give them your address. I will give them your address to find you.
I am not telling anyone to go and get a child vaccinated. That is your choice.
Shailan just asked a question. Shailan saying, after they homeschool, where will they find a job? Home too? No, but Shailan, there's a lot of people who have homeschooled their children using the curriculum of the school system and have gone on to get their certificates and found jobs outside.
Mike, in this time, and right, so we are saying we are in this COVID, you have to vaccinate to operate. That's one. Two, now employers are asking that anyone who is applying for a job in their organization that they be vaccinated. It's going to be a new policy. If it is you are new, you are now coming in, you need to be vaccinated to step into my place. Right? The other thing is persons, customers, clients. So it come like me, I do counseling. If it is somebody say, so are you, and they want to do a face-to-face session, and they ask, and they only want someone who is vaccinated to do a counseling session with them. If I'm not vaccinated, I can't say, well, I started my own business, and I have my own agency, and then I wouldn't get clients because they want someone who is vaccinated. If it is somebody's delivering their food, they want the delivery driver to be vaccinated. Right? Somebody packing the clothes, even ironing, they're going to the laundry. They don't want that somebody sneeze on their clothes after they done press. And then remember, they say COVID-19 airborne. So if somebody sneezes and the particles remain, just as they're taking it over the reactor and they sneeze, and then pass it on to you, will collect the germs. You understand? So that is why employers are saying any person who's applying to get a job at the establishment will need to be vaccinated, and that's where the vaccinator operates. So some person saying, well, it's a choice. Let me make my decision. But just as when you have to when you have to leave the country, right? When it is you have to do a degree that requires you to have your vaccines updated, your immunization updated. Like tetanus, they recommend that every 10 years you get a tetanus shot. That's for your own protection. Nobody else's, your protection. Right? And that's where the vaccinate to operate comes in. Whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's play. Work or play, they are saying you need to vaccinate to operate under whatever conditions you need to operate in. Right? So persons may even go as far as, even though it might seem funny, when persons are going to the exotic place, right, for pleasure, they may even ask that those persons be vaccinated. Or the person who is doing the job may ask that the customer be vaccinated because they know they don't want to put themselves at risk, right? Just as persons may say they want to protect themselves sexually, right, when it comes to sexually transmitted infections, you protect yourself, then you want to protect yourself against the COVID-19 virus.
So we're looking at husband and wife just now have to vaccinate to have sex then?
Right? A wife might say, you going out there, interacting with the people, yes. And that is how it's affecting the family. Because one person, they might be working in a small office, and the other, it might be somebody who is in front line and the same, but you interacting with people all day, every day. Why are you not getting vaccinated? And that can cause a discord between the husband and the wife, because the wife will say,
so is a win or lose? So what man have to do now?
In my house, where I have a daughter with a disability, or somebody in another house might have a daughter with some sickness or a child with something, I will be totally upset if my husband don't want to take the vaccine and I took it to ensure that our child doesn't get COVID.
Exactly.
So it does. It will cause some dispute in the family.
So
right. So that is one thing the vaccinator operate. will affect the family unit because there will be some are for and some against. And that's why I said earlier that when it comes to the protection, yes, it have the fear factor. But when it comes to the protection of your children, that is a whole other matter. Remember, people say, I don't make joke with my children. So you get out of fear. That's what they will say. No, you see that fear. So Verena get me the fear thing. She don't want to know if her husband talk about his fear. She will be like, you're mad. Right? We talk about fear and afraid. So she just give us a nice, fear factor, and the family have to be understanding. But at that point, Verena, will you be understanding why it is your husband is fearful? Like, really?
I mean, we talk about it. We talk about it a lot.
I bring it, 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 bring the iron love. I bring it, 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 bring the iron. Hold it, make some noise, jump around and make some noise. Hold it, make some noise, jump around and make some noise. Nothing sweeter than hearing the sound of all I am.
This is Igir Riri from Basic Unconventional Raw Nutrition, inviting you to Sweaty Soca Sunday with your Chica G. You don't know.
You know, only real rubbing that promo, because no one go one man to go and take vaccine. When you're watching a promo like that, when we moving up like that, it's carnival time.
What you mean? Take all your vaccines up
man want to flex.
Coming in.
And you know,
how much months is carnival?
And you know, ain't want nobody winding up unless they're vaccinated. Hey, you vaccinated?
When fitness starts, all November, so ends. Carnival Fest starting in November.
Right, so persons, it is a very, very touchy subject, especially when it comes to vaccinating your children. It is very touchy, right? But we want you all to remember that the vaccine, it does not affect your DNA, it doesn't change anything in your DNA. What it does is gives you a higher chance of fighting the the COVID-19 virus, and not becoming very ill, not, having to be in ICU. You have a higher chance of really fighting it all. It just prepares the body to recognize the virus when it does come.
I mean, news reported that we have 3 children hospitalized with COVID-19 right now.
Yes, who are extremely ill. So, yes, parents, we are going out. We want to get back to the norm. But when we go out there, what are we bringing back to our family, back to our children? Yes, so yes, you want to go out there, you want to shop, you want to party, you want to go to church, you want to go to the beach, you want to lime, wherever the lime is. Remember, when it is you go out there, you are not going out there alone. You are coming in contact with others. Right? And when it is you come into contact with others, it means that you are putting yourself in the line of becoming infected with the virus. Right? Just as you may get the cold, and when they say, stay away from me, you had the cold. You remember when they used to say that? Don't come near me, and you keep your cold. That's what people used to say. Keep it cool. Right? And so while it is some persons, I even heard persons saying that the vaccinated do, like if they are higher than those who are unvaccinated. That's not the case, right? But maybe for some. But what it is, they're encouraging you to protect yourself and protect your family and others, because you want to get back to some sort of normalcy. Things will not be the same in like very near future, but you want to be able to operate and go about life without having to worry too much about becoming really ill because we have the coronavirus. You want to be saying, okay, my immune system ready, I have the antibodies, and be ready to fight this thing. That's what you want. You want a strong team. Your team in the dog.
Yeah.
You want it that the dog will recognize this person don't belong in the yard. Right? That is what it is. You know, some people have dog and they're allowing the stranger to come in the yard. You want that vaccine is like the dog know this not supposed to be here.
So
Yes, so
essentially,
we wanna
right, with the vaccine, essentially, you're preparing your body for the virus before the virus comes. Unlike with your immune
yes,
system, where you have to wait for the virus to come, then for your body to develop the antibodies. So you're actually
exactly.
preparing yourself in advance.
In
That's how I
advance.
see it.
Yes, you prepare yourself. You don't wait for it to come and then you're now trying. So, you know, like when it have a lot of rain and you know that the area is flood and you don't put any sandbags by your door and you don't move out your house before any flood water comes in and they get the warning and then they don't take heed to the warning. It's like that. So you prepare in advance. So it doesn't take you by surprise. As it's like to say, prevention is better than cure. Right? Come like if you know your people having unprotected sex and then they don't protect themselves and you get a sexually transmitted disease. They want to lower your risk of getting it. That's why people use it. Protection. Like a protection.
So,
you can still get it, but you want to have a higher chance of not becoming very ill. That's what you want.
So husband and wife supposed to be using condoms.
Mike, we are not having that type of discussion at the moment.
No, because you're talking about spreading disease. So basically, So basically on that line. So let's say if you expose.
A comparison, Mike.
Right. So if you expose to people outside there who may have it, and you come home to your spouse, let me say spouse.
Right.
You could
so
say
you're
we could
going
transmit
out
it to the
there.
spouse.
Exactly. So you're going out there. You know, it has some people extracurricular activities. You go out there, you don't protect yourself, and then you come back home with something for your family. It's like the COVID-19. So you want to protect yourself so that when you come back to your family, you don't give them anything. Yes? So we are not saying what you should do. You make your informed decision. You make your choice. This is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So just
it's all
as
choice.
it's all choice. Just as you are thinking about the long-term effects of the vaccine and whatever may happen, think about what will happen if it is, I do not take the vaccine. What can happen to me in the long run? What can happen to my family? That we can ask ourselves that question as well. Yeah? That's what I will see. Yes, so this is the effects of COVID-19 on the family. Vaccinate to operate. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in and sharing their experiences and their points of view. Yes, so Mike, you have any words of encouragement, any closing remarks for our viewers?
From what we have discussed, vaccinate to operate. Again, as I said, these are my views. It's always your choice. And I personally, because I do radio, I wouldn't, like some people, I wouldn't say, no, don't take the vaccine. If you understand what I'm saying, the choice is yours. I always say the choice is yours. Because it makes no sense. Something is taking place. We know the good, we know the bad, but yet you're still condemning the whole idea of taking the vaccine. Because I will tell you something, the majority of the people in Trinidad and Tobago, it's just a matter of that they fear and they're scared because of all the various news and stuff they're hearing. Because when you go on Facebook, most of the time, it's negative comments about the vaccine. Right? And the majority of the people literally live on Facebook. So when they see somebody pop a comment about the vaccine and not do their own research and understand the good end of it, because you're still hearing people saying years gone by, when they were children, they took the various vaccines. We still alive.
Yes.
Right. So for me, I would say to people, the choice is yours, but I am not going to tell nobody, don't take the vaccine. Right? That's my stand. I wouldn't say, no, don't take it. I've heard a lot of people on Facebook telling people, don't take it, don't take it. I've never done that. I've questioned it, but I wouldn't say don't take it. The choice is yours. Yeah?
Yeah. Verena, what are your words of encouragement or closing remarks to our viewers this evening?
So, I would agree with Mike. The choice is yours. However, make an informed choice. Do not make a choice based off your feelings or your Facebook status or your Facebook updates. You know, get informed, get all the correct information. If you see a source send you a video saying the vaccine that good or showing you some side effects, research and see if that source is true, right? Before you accept the information. Okay, so people, let us make informed decisions. And yes, the choice is yours.
Yes. So I would like to say thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for listening and sharing your views. We want to thank Lion for a poll, Chill and Coffee for keeping the feed, tech, yeah? So you want to thank Shilon for handling everything on the backdrop.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Verena, Jazan, Mike, Rihanna, all those who made contributions to the discussion today. We want to thank you as well. And I want everyone to be safe and, think about, really think about it, what decision you should make, and think about how it's going to affect you and your family in the long run. Yes,
And,
we want to make a very, very good choice. Not one that is based on misinformation,
Or
right?
feelings.
We get a lot of misinformation, and with that misinformation, yes, feelings do come, whether it's anger, whether it's fear. We want to be able to get correct information. All the correct information is out there, so it's easily accessible. Just as we get access to the negative, we can get access to the positive. And please know, the positive is much greater than the negative.
Right.
So please, go out now
say,
with a positive.
Yeah. I want to say to you, Shamika James, I must applaud you for taking the opportunity when we spoke in the earlies some years ago about doing a show like this. Like a few months ago, I said yes. So I must compliment you because I have people who have been listening. I wouldn't tell you who it is, but they have been listening and very impressed with some of the things, some of the issues that they bring up. And to let you know, whenever the show is on, they always listen. They may not comment, but they always listen. So I must compliment you for taking the opportunity of starting something like this. And we know it's going to grow because we being real, everybody sharing their ideas, and we must disagree to agree. All right? I must compliment Verena, also Rihanna, well, Lion, who doesn't really do nothing. But I must say, let's take this to another level, because what we're trying to do is trying to educate people at all levels, whether it's COVID, whether it's whatever issue. But what is in front of us now is the vaccine, the COVID-19. And as much as we could employ people to do the right thing, let's continue on that trend. Because we're going to change this topic soon again, We're going to change it. So I must compliment you. Well done.
Thank you. Right, so we thank everyone for joining in. We thank everyone for their contributions. And don't forget that tomorrow is Sweaty Sunday, so you can join us for a very fun and effective workout in the morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah, well, I behind the control still because I still ain't feeling all that strong. When I start to feel much better, then I will take part. No, seriously.
No water bottles today. No water bottles tomorrow,
If I go and stand up and collapse, hey, that water bottle scenario is one of the best.
My goodness.
No, boy. I could not stand up. I could have never stand for that. I might have collapsed on the ground. No, that's a very innovative part of the exercise.
Yeah.
But I want to say one
add
thing before we go.
too.
Just now, before we go. If this doesn't happen by the next 2 Sundays, I busting it. I need to see Sherlon start joining us. It can't be me
Hear
alone.
what?
It can't be me alone. I can't be showing my
saying,
sexy legs all the time.
You all ever heard the saying, careful what you ask for
Well, I don't care.
and careful what you wish for?
I don't care. I
Please take that
can't.
into
Yeah, but I can't be showing my sexy
take-
legs. My
take
abs.
That
doesn't make sense.
take that into consideration. Careful
Listen.
what you ask for.
Listen.
And on that note, I would like to thank all my youth. So last Friday went here. Yesterday, I was saying Friday, but like it was so far away. Yesterday was our last youth soccer party.
Nice.
And the youth, they are definitely fit. They are much fitter. So I got the reviews. Yes, they are fitter than when they started. They are feeling fantastic. And of course, we were doing it on a Friday. So the fabulous, they're feeling nice, feel themselves, and they really had fun. Right? And the next we have up is a personal development and character building program for the young ladies between the ages of 13 and 19 years. Right? This is for the young women to, help build their character.
Image is a personal development program for young women, building character and empowering young minds.
Yes, so feel free to contact us. And also don't forget to top up with Burn Team. Yes, so when the money run low, online banking, easy access. We have the top up ready and waiting, both be mobile and digital. Yes? So that is just the ads coming there one time.
Could the size of that needle, boy? Jesus.
Don't forget. Christ. So we thank everyone. Be safe. Have a wonderful week ahead. Be safe. Keep good. We get into this together. Yes.
Right. So we want to thank Shamika James. We want to thank Verena. We want to thank the man behind the scenes, Lion, for another wonderful show, The Effects of COVID-19 on the Family, the Blueprint. And the topic today was Vaccinate to Operate. So guys, have a good one. Just remember, you can join me later on tonight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where we're in. So have a good one. Bless up.
Everywhere.